Hello, everybody. Welcome. Well, nobody's gonna be watching this because it's private. We'll release it at a later date, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But this is the first ever podcast on GI Pod. I'm joined with, the new co-host. We're joined with Sean, and today we're gonna be talking about the world of professional wrestling and how much has, what's going on in the world of professional wrestling as of recently. I have heard rumors about. Uh, I've heard a lot of news this week. A wrestler just passed away. I'm gonna look it up this week. I'm just trying to think of because I remember hearing that somebody had passed away.
Mm.
So I do actually remember hearing that, but who it was, I don't remember. WWE have acknowledged this death. 17 people have died in the world of professional wrestling. But I don't remember who it was. Like, I'm gonna look at wrestling news. But there's a lot going on in the world of TNA.
Huh.
Have you heard about their whole bankruptcy
Who hasn't?
situation? Apparently, this is on Pro Wrestling Sheet. Billy Corgan has sued TNA Wrestling. It says Pro Wrestling Sheet has obtained a large chunk of documentations pertaining to Billy Corgan's lawsuit against TNA. He has had a big problem with the company entertaining a buyout offer from WWE. The documents have also claimed he informed Dixie of the default a few days before Bound for Glory. Corgan wants the company to admit that they can't pay their debts. Carter and Impact Ventures, however, both filed responses saying they're not insolvent. No additional documents were given to support their claims. Billy is asking the court to make them prove it. That's about it for now. That's all we know of. Oh, and Evan Bourne was arrested in Japan for pot possession,
Wow.
which really, I'd expect that more in the 90s, not so much today because because of all the drug testing. So apparently, according to Nikon Sports, Seidel was arrested at an airport in Osaka on September 23rd while trying to enter the country with 2.12 grams of liquid marijuana. Wow.
Liquid marijuana.
Yep. That's kind of that's kind of a big thing, even though it's almost been a month ago. But see, I don't know much about wrestling, but what were your thoughts on Raw and SmackDown last week?
SmackDown was amazing when they had James Ellsworth win against AJ Styles. James Ellsworth one day is going to become Cena. It's inevitable.
Very, very well could be. He's so over. And, like, I don't understand why he's so over. But I like him. He did his job and he gets over. I guess that happens with some people. I thought Raw was okay. Like, I had seen parts of it. What I really liked, and of course, this week's the go-home show for Hell in a Cell. The day this is being recorded, it's 10/23, and Hell in a Cell is next Sunday. What match are you looking forward to on that card?
Sasha Banks versus Charlotte.
Same. We're joined with Sean. Oh my god.
You know, I think it says James Ellsworth is actually outselling Goldberg's merchandise.
What? You're joking.
I'm not joking.
I'm actually gonna look up the card for Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell 2016, because I actually do want to know what matches they've got. Because I'm not sure if they've got... They haven't confirmed Goldberg Lesnar for Hell in a Cell, but this is the matches they've got thus far. Because remember, it could change in 6 days. Roman Reigns versus Rusev, Hell in a Cell. They've got more Hell in a Cell matches than they did last year. They've got Reigns versus Rusev, Hell in a Cell for the U.S. title. Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship is Owens versus Rollins. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. In a Hell in a Cell match, which is god-awfully amazing.
It better be bloody.
It better be, at least. Well, I don't expect them to blade. Because women don't really blade that often in WWE. People
in boundaries, though.
Well, I mean, just because it's Hell in a Cell doesn't mean they're gonna bleed. But well, you never know. I might be showing ignorance here, but then we've got T.J. Perkins versus Brian Kendrick. Oh, and rumor is on the street they're interested on bringing back Chavo Guerrero for the Cruiserweight.
Isn't he in Lucha Underground?
You never know. Like, yeah, I think he is. But it all depends, because when his contract comes up, he may not choose to renew. So therefore, he's a free agent, and WWE is going to want him to bring some star power to the Cruiserweight division on Raw. So then they've got the New Day versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Who do you think is going to win?
Sheamus and without that much of a real build-up, you could say that Sheamus and Cesaro could have won, but I don't think they're going to win.
Knowing... I'll let you finish.
Oh, thank you. But it's always like that with New Day, because they they don't lose.
They're money machines. Everybody loves loves them. And then it turns into like then the acts will become stale, and that's when everybody's going to be sick of them. But apparently, they're not sick of them yet because they've found ways to at least somewhat reinvent their characters. But the next event is NXT TakeOver Toronto, and I'm going to look at the date of that.
Listen, all WWE needs to do to succeed is make James Ellsworth the champion. Give him a world title, let him run with it. It'll be gold.
Well, you know what they could do? They could have a storyline with him training to be a world champion. Because he does have wrestling background.
He sent his resume and got recruited.
What? I think he's actually owner of a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me look. At Real Ellsworth, let's see what he says. Yes.
Adrenaline Championship Wrestling.
It is Adrenaline Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And he like, that company's based out of Maryland. But he's over with the fans. And like it's because of like his first match against Braun Strowman.
That you never see him again, but you did. You got him anyway.
I mean, it's like a Daniel Bryan. Like I don't want to compare Ellsworth to Bryan, but it's almost like it's almost like that because Bryan was just buried in 18 seconds at WrestleMania 28 in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of kickstarted his career and got the fans behind him.
Yep.
And he just puts on he put on a bunch of good matches. I mean, one of my favorite Daniel Bryan matches has to be against John Cena. Like, not to sound like a mark or anything, but the reason is he finally climbed to the top of the mountain only to have it ripped away from him. But he never stopped fighting for the belt. Now, Ellsworth was buried by a guy about 2-3 times his size, at least. I don't know. And the fans made a meme out of him, which is pretty cool. But
James Ellsworth, he's the best in the world.
I actually want to watch some of his matches from his promotion. I believe it's Adrenaline Championship Wrestling. I'm not sure. I gotta look again. I want to be sure on that one.
Just let's make WWE great again, and let's put Ellsworth in there. That is all you really need. It's just Ellsworth.
James Ellsworth. How about who is rumored to join the Wyatt or debut as a part of the Wyatt family as Sister Abigail? There have been many rumors flying around for many years.
Who?
I don't remember her name. I can picture her. It's like, well, like I said, there was many different names thrown around, so I don't know if it's true, but we'll see. There have been some names thrown around. People thought Eva Marie was going to debut as Sister Abigail or return as Sister Abigail at No Mercy. And screw Randy Orton. Well, we got a return, just not what people were thinking.
Not what people wanted.
Well, I mean, it seems...
Did you really want Luke Harper to come back?
I mean, I didn't expect it.
Same.
like I said, not what people were expecting. Because a lot of people's predictions thought that Eva Marie was going to return. But if we go to the world of WCPW, or What Culture Pro, WCPW, because I got to figure out, what in the world are their dates for stuff. But I wonder what they're going to do with Martin Kirby, because they had Adam Pacitti screw him at Refuse to Lose.
Mm-hmm.
And he's another one that's so over with the crowd. So the next event is the next actual event is WCPW London with Will Ospreay versus Martin Kirby.
Mm.
And if you can recall, there is a match on their YouTube channel that Martin Kirby won. So give me your prediction. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Kirby or is it going to be Ospreay?
My money's on Will.
Yeah, I can see, because he was kind of the babyface at the time, and they want to give him a revenge win. But their upcoming date on November 30th, they're going to be in Nottingham, England. Then, of course, they're going to have their WCPW Loaded tapings on December the 1st. But I do have to say that it's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
This channel just seems to be growing, like the WCPW channel, because they, like, people say they're getting lazy. Well, what do you expect? They
are a cult-sized wrestling promotion.
They're a cult-sized wrestling promotion. It's legit. It's a brand new promotion if you think about it. Because they didn't start till like July.
Yeah.
But I do have to say that Refuse to Lose, the Internet Championship match, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on the Los Prospect?
The what?
Prospect, the tag team.
Honestly, I don't know what they're trying to do with them.
Like, I get that they were barred or suspended, but I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Los Spectivia or Prospectivia or whatever? They came back as this whole luchador tag team with James R. Kennedy, who I think is a great manager, along with Adam Blompied. I'm not kissing anybody's ass here, but I think Adam Blompied was like a killer manager. You have to admit, he's pretty good on the mic.
He is.
James R. Kennedy is a heelish. I don't want to, I don't know what to think of James R. Kennedy. I think he's a good manager, though. But how to describe him is so different.
I think if you just give WCPW 3 more months, let some of their talent solidify to the crowd, and they can stick with something. Therefore, you can understand what they're going for instead of be leading blindly into the storyline.
Kind of like I know there are Vince Russo fans out there, but a Vince Russo swerve is kind of like, oh, you thought we were going to do this? Well, nope. Well, if we were to look back, look at I don't know if the higher power story was truly his idea, but I think of that as a swerve. Because Vince McMahon was the good guy saying, Austin, help me. I need your help with these guys. And then it turns out he's the higher power. That made no sense. Really, it didn't.
It's McMahonism.
Adam Pacitti, what are your thoughts on him being a good general manager?
I'm see. I'm still a little bit crusty from when Adam Pacitti came back and used that
Uh,
what culture in a case, whatever they call it.
what culture in the bank? I think it is.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit stung from that.
But like his role as general manager. I don't know if he. I don't know who's on what, but he's the on-screen general manager. I think he did a good job, and I think he's gonna do a great job, heel or face, because not you know people aren't gonna like everything you do in the wrestling business. Um, and I'm a smart mark, so don't take my word for it.
hmm
I have no idea what I'm talking about. But when Adam Pacitti screwed Martin Kirby, he might have had it coming, but that was probably the biggest. Do I want to say like the not so surprising authority turns heel?
Oh, that's a little bit. It's a little bit ruthless.
I
For
mean, we've seen it time and time again. Look at SummerSlam 2013. Let's go back to that for a bit. Triple H turned heel. He was the authority. He was the COO. We've seen it time and time again with Vince and Stephanie. And oh my gosh, I will say the biggest difference between Raw and SmackDown, you see more of I don't know how to put this. People are so sick of seeing Stephanie McMahon on Raw. Have you kind of noticed that? Like you see him at least.
she's a wrestler, but she doesn't get in a ring. She's Vicky.
She's Vicky Guerrero.
hmm
I mean, Vicky Guerrero, you'd see like as a manager, so she'd be doing something, and somebody can say, "Oh, Jordan, fuck you for that." But I I think that um this whole brand split thing is just so confusing to me now. Because look at their pay-per-view schedule. They nearly doubled their pay-per-view. 2 pay-per-views per month, and they had what? 8 pay-per-views in total?
I I can't tell you. I don't. They're doing something, and so far they're doing something right. So if it's not broken, don't fix
Don't
it.
fix it. I mean, I do want to say that it's I do want to say that, like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about, and these are clearly my opinions, and you can hate me for them. But you know, when this first started, it was just like you're seeing too much of the general managers on SmackDown.
hmm
Now it's like you see Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley at least once every show. Tell me, when was the last time we saw Daniel Bryan or Shane McMahon on a show?
2 weeks ago. Well, we're talking about just on
Like
USC and not talking smack, right?
Talking Smack is excluded from this
Okay. Well, 2 weeks ago, right?
because I know we see Daniel on Talking Smack. The reason Talking Smack is excluded, it's not a part of SmackDown itself. It's kind of like GTV. Well, no, I'm not even going to say it's GTV. But I do want to say that there has been a rumored match at Royal Rumble, or they might set up to one, but it's false because Sean has stated very clear that he's not coming back to the wrestling ring. But You never know what could happen.
Shawn versus James Ellsworth.
No, Shawn versus AJ Styles
Oh.
at Royal Rumble. Like, I know that I think. Well, how it started was AJ posted like a fan made poster of him for maybe for I don't know, but it started as like I'm trying to find a way to explain this. AJ Styles posted a fan made picture of a poster for him versus Shawn Michaels promoting that match.
Mhm.
That's how the rumors started to fly.
Hmm.
Have you noticed that?
I don't check Soccer Mom's Twitter.
You don't no. You don't check Soccer Mom's Twitter? I don't either. But I read that too, like but if it does happen, it should be a sight to see. Hello? Sean? I think we lost him. But I'm just looking over everything and let's see what WWE's got for on their Twitter. Actually, I think we're gonna go. Alright, so I'm gonna go news, see what else there is.
No. All I want WrestleMania 33 main event. James Ellsworth versus Shawn Michaels. Sweet Chin Music versus
Versus
No Chin Music.
wow. But apparently WWE has been teasing McGregor versus Reigns. You know that
Why?
whole you know that whole thing between like Conor McGregor calling WWE superstars or the WWE locker room in general pussies and whatever. That's how that sparked back in before UFC 203. I didn't really care about it because it was a way for them to promote UFC 203 and
And didn't Conor McGregor's trainer post a picture of Jimmy Hart and was like, "You guys think I look good in this outfit?"
wow. So I will say that I found one. The star that just passed away was Frenchie Martin.
Mm-mm.
Um, so he was a manager of Dean Bravo. I actually want to know how he died. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if we can find it here really quick.
What do you feel about Dolph Ziggler feuding with the Spirit Squad?
I don't know why they're doing this.
I don't understand either.
I think the whole reason was he was a part of this spirit. Oh, well, I don't know, but he used to be a part of the Spirit Squad.
Yes, I get that, but then again, why torture us with this?
Well, I don't know. But this is Martin's cause of death: bladder and bone cancer.
Mm.
So that's how he died. So that's actually something very new. For once it isn't like prescription medication abuse or drug abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most controversial cause of death was Chris Benoit, for sure. Since we're talking about like deaths, I might as well just say I think that was one of the more controversial ones. because he literally, like, apparently. Well, there's so many conspiracy theories about it that he was murdered and he didn't kill himself. But you know, but if we were to do future guests on this program, who would you want to have before we move on?
People we know, like really know, or people that we know of.
So you wouldn't want a friend of mine on here?
No,
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I probably hurt him.
And if you do, like this
And
this
if
is
I do,
is it all right if I talk about this now?
we can bring this up. This is a all-around topic podcast.
The one thing, okay, I did a charity stream on GI Gaming last night or Saturday night. And one thing that irks me is when two of my friends can't get along. And I know not everybody's going to get along, but the least people could have done was shown a little bit of respect because it was in fact a charity stream. And people would come in and say, "Oh, like this should be what they think. Oh, a charity stream, maybe we can help out." Then they come in, they hear a bunch of bullshit being spewed. And okay, so for those that say, "Why don't you say anything?" Well, I've known one guy for 10 years, and I've known the other guy for like 3 months, or ever since Backlash. And so then it'd feel like if, if I said something, somebody'd get pissed off. But we also had other people in the call saying, "Hey, you need to stop." So I guess on to another touchy topic, politics. So we'll see what they got. Oh, that's a Reddit post. Oh, I'm staying away from Reddit though. So let's go to
Let's talk about WikiLeaks. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton.
Oh, and by the way, if we ever talk about conspiracy theories, it's because Sean wanted to do it. Just a quick disclaimer. I know people are going to hate this podcast because we're the wrestling marks. So, what else do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about in particular with WikiLeaks?
Hillary's emails.
WikiLeaks. So, news. So Tim Kaine was apparently threatened by WikiLeaks. It's like, but I did read something about like politics though that I want to just see here. What?
What?
ISIS sets sulfur plant on fire in northern Iraq, choking the air with deadly chemicals.
Holy crap.
Plumes of noxious smoke are wafting through the parts of northern Iraq after So the Islamic State and Iraqi soldiers have been fighting over, I'm trying to think, is it mosque? I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. So they've been fighting over this little town for control of it because it's the last ISIS stronghold in Iraq. And wait, oh, it's Mosul. Mosul. They're fighting over Mosul. I was close with the M, but I was very off. That's the last Islamic State stronghold in Iraq. So, one touchy topic, and I don't know if it still is, should we allow immigrants, like Syrian immigrants, into the United States?
We need better security. Not just saying this because they're from the Middle East. I'm saying this because anybody could have these kind of things.
Well, I mean, they can get a hold of you over the internet now. Which is like they've used the internet for recruiting the young people. Even here from the United States, and my camera just froze. But I just figured we should do this. I gotta find it. So, what do we have? Oh, recent. I'm trying to find like. So, Sean cannot have his camera on. I don't know why.
Because
All right. That's all right. You don't have to. I'm trying to find like what oh no. Cuz like I could put like the names here and everything. So we're not going to do that today. I'll figure it out eventually. But I know it's an incredibly touchy topic on why or if we should let immigrants into the country or if we need. Of course, we're going to need better security, but remember, even the best security may not be enough. Because nobody can be secure over the internet at all times. The only problem is, the most recent act of terror in the United States that I know of. This is that I know of, people. There could be more in the month's time. But there was another bombing in New York over the weekend of the 18th of September, or the one weekend that I went hunting. Did you ever hear about that?
I believe that I think we're talking about the same thing, but there was a box found that had like 5 bombs in it, and they found out the dude brought all the ingredients off of, was it eBay?
I'm not sure. What I remember is like we heard that there was a bomb that went off, and there was another, like one went off in the morning, like the previous morning, and the one that actually hurt people was in a building. They found more that didn't detonate. So I wonder what could happen. So I guess we're gonna have to see what the heck's going on. All right.
Check something.
But what?
What?
Hold on. This is a news article on the Huffington Post. Trump uses major speech to threaten to sue sexual assault accusers. And for those that don't know, Trump has been accused of sexual assault by about 9 people. and he's well, does it actually say? All right, Donald Trump, blah blah blah. Wow. Does it like it says every woman lied when they came forward to hurt my campaign? Total fabrication. The events never happened. All of these liars will be sued after the election is over. Well, we don't know what's true and what's not. So, I guess we'll have to find out. Oh, I can get a Hangouts toolbox up here. So, give me a minute. What? I'm trying to get it to install here. It's not going to work. So, well, honestly, like, people are like, oh, will you vote for Hillary or Trump?
Stein.
I vote for like an independent party.
Stein.
Well, the reason our main candidates are Trump or Clinton, and I don't really. This event, in the event of a tie, blah blah blah. So right now, Clinton is leading at a 96.2.
Those percentages don't matter.
Well, this
That's
is like
most people. They just go down. They see blue, and then they just click all blue.
no, I'm seriously not kidding. But this is a forecast, and it was just updated like an hour ago. When you vote, don't elect the president. You tell your state's electoral college electors how to vote. Well, right now, Trump has 197 votes. Well, I hope that this isn't true.
Mm.
Oh, this is a forecast for it, so I don't think we have to worry about it. I just don't want. Well, what's going on in entertainment news?
Entertainment news. What entertainment industry?
Yeah, BS. I mean, I just looked at it and I'm just, no. Let's look and see what's going on in sports news. More or less. Sports. Chicago Cubs head to the World Series for the first time since 1945. Nice. Wow. What? Oh, I guess since I do classify wrestling as a sport, since it's really sports entertainment, but whatever the fuck.
Holy crap! How many does she have?
What? Who?
Blue Lace Agate, Rainbow Kyanite, Iolite, Blue Spindle, Peach Barrel, Red Barrel, Castorite, Cuprite, and Larimar.
I know I'm an idiot for doing this podcast, but I'm just looking at stuff here. Oh, apparently this will be Goldberg's last match. If you guys remember on Raw, he said, not only does that mean you're next, Brock Lesnar, that means you're last. Or it was like, that also means you're last, too. Oh, they've got the tweet here. Brock Lesnar, not only does that mean you're next, more importantly, it means Brock Lesnar, you're last.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Like, that entire segment?
Yep.
But I wonder how Lesnar is going to respond. I actually hope we also need a new icon as well. Most of these will go live via Hangouts from now on because that's the way like we would always do things on GI Gaming. And no hate towards anyone. The one thing that I really hope is they don't screw this up. Because, I mean, the match 12 years ago was critically panned.
That match was slow, tiring, and very boring.
I mean, you could hear it in the crowd. They're like, boring, and you sold out. So they're pissed. They were pissed because both men were leaving the company. Lesnar went to join football, and Goldberg just left to retire, or seemingly retire. I don't know what he did after pro wrestling, but
He sat around and thought about that match.
I actually think I think he helped with sparring. I'm not sure. We know that he's been doing stuff. Oh, I remember seeing something, but I don't remember what he did. But I actually hope they don't screw this up with him. You know they're not like you. I hope they don't.
But you know they will.
Well, they might. You never know. But yeah, like I said, the match was critically panned by everyone. Yes, it was slow, and they've had better matches. Then people say, well, when I remember when Ryback debuted, they basically